All right, it's hot on the roof, so let's get this done quick. This is Weston here with our favorite home inspector, Dan from Highland Home Inspections. So right now we're at my own house I'm looking to purchase right now, and Dan and I are walking the roof right now. So before I fall off this roof, Dan, let's talk about what we just went over with the roof and why it's important to make sure you walk the roof before you buy a house.
Excellent question. So we're up here on the roof. Anytime we can safely walk the roof, it's good to try to get up and get close and personal to the shingles and the chimneys. And one of the things we are looking at up here on this roof, it's an architectural shingle, usually about a 25-year life expectancy and sometimes 30. But what we're doing is we're looking for signs of age or any defects in the shingles. And so what we did is we looked at the shingle surfaces and found a little bit of granular loss consistent with a roof that's about 15 years old. And we also looked at the pipe collar flashings, the neoprene flashings, which are over here.
Yeah.
And that can also be a good indicator of the age. And so what we're seeing with some of these pipe collar flashings is that instead of being concave and shedding water away, they're distorted. They're older and they've started to hold water here. And so that's kind of a defect that we can look at and see, hey, this roof is maybe not ready for replacement, but we need to think about having a tune-up done and replace some of the flashings and maybe get some of the nails sealed up. So, those are important to look for. And while we're up here, we can also take a look at the chimneys and take a look at the brick, the mortar, the crown, and the flue liners to see what kind of work that needs to be done on those. These chimneys have been sealed up. Some of the cracks have been sealed with silicone, and some of the mortar joints have been actually caulked, which we don't really want to see. We want to see mortar used to repoint joints. So we're going to probably want to do a little bit of mortar repair on these chimneys and make sure those cracks stay well sealed, and maybe even think about replacing the crown just so we don't have water issues in the future.
And from your experience, because I know you've done a ton of home inspections for us and pointed this out, and typically a crown to replace like that is what, about $300 per, depending upon how much work needs to be done?
The pricing varies so much. I've seen estimates for $600, $300, $1,000, but usually $1,000 or less to do a crown replacement.
Yeah.
And mortar repair can be little, depends on the size of the chimney, but really all old homes with a masonry chimney, they're going to need some sort of masonry repair.
Yeah.
It's just expected.
Yeah. And as you kind of said, while I'm having my the roof here, having someone come out and do a tune-up and everything, might as well do it while they're up here, because worst thing we can have happen is water getting into the roof, and then now instead of being $1,000 repair, it's God knows how much, because now water's getting into the house.
Right.
So,
water is the enemy of all home inspections, so we want to look for anywhere that water can get into the structure or the chimney.
All right, perfect. Well, we're going to keep on going here. It's hot up here. I don't want to keep sweating my butt off. So if you need a recommendation for a mason or a roofer, feel free to reach out. But we're going to keep on working over here. We'll talk soon.